Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting. I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And today I want to talk to you about these aren't the steps of manifesting, the focusing and detaching, but it's like some secondary steps that are kind of overall. So, no matter where you are on your journey, you can do these secondary steps. It's like a spectrum. So you do the regular steps, the getting clarity, focusing on what you want, the believing it's possible, or acknowledging that you don't believe it's possible, and detaching from the outcome. Those are the steps we've talked about many times. But I've been thinking about times where I've manifested something pretty easily, and times where it was a struggle, and times where I've just flat out failed, and what the circumstances were, and how I kind of changed myself as I became a better manifester. So that's what I want to talk about today. The steps of this secondary kind of process or thing that I need to check on sometimes for myself. So the first step, this is, like I said, this is not the actual manifesting steps. This is just a kind of check in and see where you are. The first part of this is you're allowed to want what you want. It's kind of a corollary to clarity, right? So sometimes you know what you want, you have clarity, but you have a feeling inside of yourself that you shouldn't want that or you should want something different. And so you have clarity, but you're holding yourself back with this idea that you should want something different. So it's getting clear. It's a second level of clarity. It's being clear that you're allowed to want exactly what you want and sort of naming it as exactly what it is. So I talked about this, I think, in the last episode where I said I had wanted this specific person. This was many years ago before I knew about manifesting. And when I was manifesting that specific person, it was taking a long time. I'm not manifesting. I didn't know about manifesting. I just wanted that person. And I would talk about it with friends and family and that person, even because we were on again, off again, in contact, not in contact. And at some point, this cycle of being on again, off again, kind of fatigued my friends and family. They didn't want to hear me talk about this situationship, this relationship, this whatever I had going on. They just were over it, and they didn't want me to talk about it anymore. And especially when we were off again, I wanted to just not want that person. But I did want that person. So I finally, and I come back to this so often when I'm manifesting something, I finally realized I want this person, and I can want this person regardless of whether the outcome is I get to be in a relationship with that person. Like I said, this is before I knew about manifesting, and so just owning my desire. So I just encourage you to do that with every single manifestation. I want this, and even if there's some sort of resistance around being allowed to want it or whatever, this is what I want. And naming that clearly. So that's kind of the first corollary step. The next corollary step is feeling how you feel. However that is. Maybe you're really angry at your specific person, at a job situation, at whatever situation. You're really angry. Or maybe you're really hurt. Or maybe you're really frustrated by not manifesting sooner. Whatever that feeling is, you're allowed to have it. Feel it. Acknowledge it. Accept it. Welcome it in your internal world. And incorporate it into your internal world. And don't let it become a block or a hindrance in your own internal world, in your imagination, to your manifestation. So we may feel like, let me explain a little bit. We may feel like that, like you're angry at your specific person. So that could feel like you could have a thought of, well, that's going to block me from manifesting them. Like I need to feel good. And I do believe in feeling good as much as you possibly can. But I don't believe in not acknowledging the emotions that you have. So you can be angry, acknowledge that anger, feel it, say whatever you need to say about it, journal about it. And then acknowledge to yourself that you can have that feeling and still get your manifestation. Yeah? Okay, so that's kind of the second thing. And the third thing is you have to live your life. You have to live your life. You have to incorporate yourself back into your current 3D reality, however that looks. And live your life. And I think it's a step in manifesting. I mean, I would go so far as calling it a step that you need to do, that's like important to keep your life going. Because often, especially at the beginning of a manifesting journey, we kind of put ourselves on hold until we get the manifestation in 3D reality. And yeah, that's not necessary. In fact, living your life is often when the manifestation comes. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. If you are a person who celebrates Christmas, Merry Christmas. If not, I hope you're having a lovely day, and thank you so much for listening. May you manifest exactly what you want.